I'm going to read this plaque. Doug Miller, East Lansing High School, football, basketball, baseball. 11 varsity letters. Two-time All-State football and basketball. Member State Championship basketball team in 1958. Member State Championship football team in 1958. Member MSU baseball team 1960 to 1963. Member of the MSU football team 1960 to 1962. And a member of the MSU basketball team from 1960 to 61. What a wonderful bed of accomplishments for your father. And I know you must be very, very proud to be here this evening to accept his induction into the Greater Lansing Hall of Fame, class of 2012. Kevin?
I was hoping to start out with a bang, and I'm glad that I got to go first. My name is Kevin Miller, and I want to set the record straight. I am not the hockey player. I am the son of Doug Miller. My father was a modest man, particularly in his athletic accomplishments, and tonight he would be humbled to be recognized in this manner. It is an honor to accept this award and dedication and represent him this evening. I've been looking forward to this evening for the past 7 months since I was informed of this honor. My dad passed away on January 6, 2011 after a 7-year battle with multiple myeloma, which is a treatable but non-curable form of blood cancer. And I don't know if you will find this a coincidence or not, but I received a phone call on the 1-year anniversary of his passing that he was selected for this honor tonight. Our family had an opportunity last summer to celebrate his life, but tonight we get to celebrate his athletic accomplishments. And it is special to do that in front of so many great people, talented athletes, and friends given this unbelievable platform. I want to share with you that neither my brother nor I were fully aware of his enormous accomplishments growing up until we went through the exercise of nominating him for this Hall of Fame consideration. He rarely ever discussed his athletic achievements with us. And for Jeff and I, this has been an extremely rewarding experience, and it's given us another opportunity and place for us to reflect our father's past. Even though today's social media gives us everything at our fingertips, nothing compares to an old scrapbook with pictures, articles, and facts when given the opportunity to reflect back in time. Many of you here tonight are not familiar with my dad or the name Doug Miller and what he accomplished as a prep athlete at East Lansing High School and then on at Michigan State University. And this is understandable considering his achievements occurred over 50 years ago. This is where I want to especially thank the Hall of Fame committee and their selection process. It seems his accomplishments would be easily overlooked because they happened so long ago. Whether you're hearing about my father for the first time tonight, or maybe a former teammate of his, or an opportunity to compete against him, I'm proud to share with you this evening a few of his highlights and accolades in his respective sports from my point of view. He had 11 varsity letters while at East Lansing High School in the sports of football, basketball, and baseball, and was referred to as the take charge guy in all sports by the Lansing State Journal. He played the positions that required talent, skill, and leadership. He was the quarterback on the football team. He played the guard and forward positions on the basketball team, and he played first base and pitched on the baseball team. He was part of a combined 77 wins with only 9 losses in his prep sports career as a starter in football and basketball. And as you know, it's extremely unusual for an athlete to play multiple sports, excel in each one of them individually, and win championships as a team unit. He found a way to do that in every sport he played. In football, the Associated Press referred to Dad as the brain of the Trojan football team at quarterback. Coach Vince Carolot was quoted saying, "Miller knew every assignment of every man, of every position, on every play," and said Miller was a team within a team. And although this never came to fruition, I came across a letter Biggie Biggie Munn wrote Dad telling him, "I'm sure as the years pass, you'll be even greater, and I know you will surpass most of the quarterbacks we have had at Michigan State." Maybe all of them. Well, you can imagine how amazed I was to read those words about my father from Spartan legend. His on-field accomplishments include winning 23 of 24 games as a starting quarterback, including his last 21 in a row. He even averaged 38.4 yards as a punter his senior year. He was a two-time All-Twin Valley first-team selection, a three-time All-City Lansing State Journal selection, a three-time Detroit Free Press All-State selection, 1959 Associated Press Class A All-State Team selection, and he led East Lansing to the #1 in the final state poll rankings in 1958, and went on to play football at Michigan State for a couple of years. In basketball, he was dubbed as the Trojan who thrives on adversity and the backbone of the Trojans' attack by the Lansing State Journal. And I'm often reminded about the games he played against Sexton High School, which include his last second shot to beat them as a sophomore and a triple overtime loss thriller to them as a senior. In this game, he ran home 24 points, including 10 field goals, and hit a phenomenal 71% from the field, taking only 14 shots. As a starter, he was part of 56 wins with only 6 losses. And we won 3 consecutive league championships and went 40-2 in that conference. He was a member of the 1958 undefeated Class B state basketball championship team as a sophomore, coached by Ron Vespanakis. And he started in that game and scored 11 points. And this team was inducted in 1988 into this Hall of Fame. He was a top prep scorer his senior year in the greater Lansing area, averaging over 18 points a game. And he was a 2-time Detroit Free Press All-State selection. That included his first team his senior year. One of my favorites was in 1960. He was a member of the All-State Lansing State Journal basketball team. What was significant about this team was that there were 6 guys on it, and it was referred to as a mythical squad because it consisted of Sexton's starting 5 from their 2-time state championship team and Dad. Although he excelled in every sport, it's hard for me to distinguish what his best sport was. What I can tell you is that baseball was his favorite. They didn't report much about baseball back then. They really didn't even play that many games. This is based on the fact that East Lansing only had 6 Twin Valley League games, and they won all of them, and he was 3-1 as a starting pitcher. His senior year, he made the 1960 All-League team and named to the Lansing Area All-Star team. But he went on to play 4 years of baseball at Michigan State University from 1961 to 1964, and had an opportunity to try for the Detroit Tigers as one of 5 area players chosen for consideration in a Prospects All-Star game. As I shared with you earlier, I came into possession of what I consider a treasure box that included a detailed scrapbook following my father's prep career. I also found many letters that were written to him as he was recruited by over 25 major colleges and universities. And I'm proud that he went on to become a Spartan at Michigan State. Among my favorite letters that I found were from Vince Carlock, Forrest Anderson, Biggie Munn. And there's one I want to share with you in closing tonight. And this one's from Gus Ganakis. Gus is somebody I consider a friend who often reminisces with me about my dad. He also happens to be an occasional golf partner of mine. He sent this to my dad on June 17, 1960. So, be careful what you put down on paper, because you never know when it's going to come back out, Gus. I'm glad you did that. Dear Doug, you are the possessor of 4 glorious years at East Lansing High School. They have been memorable ones for all of us who admire your athletic ability, personality, gentlemanly manner, and maturity. It has been a coach's paradise to have a basketball player as versatile as you. The smoothness and coolness with which you operate on the court has been a Trojan trademark in basketball for 4 years. We will miss your many graceful moves, but also those less dexterous Millerisms with legs and arms flying in all directions, and yet the ball flying into the hole for 2 points. From a regular as a sophomore on the state championship team to a captain of 3 major sports as a senior with many honors in between, your athletic career has been prodigious. Reminiscing over your high school basketball exploits is enjoyable. The flawless play of that great freshman team in the junior high tournament, the winning basket against Sexton in the sudden death overtime as a sophomore, and then repeating defeat against Eastern as a junior. The blending in as a sophomore with Art Carve, Fern, Mason, and Johnson to win 24 in a row and then run to 38 through your junior year. The tremendous individual performance against Sexton in the Christmas game as a senior, and you're leading the team to the 4th consecutive undisputed Twin Valley Championship. These and many more exploits are memories you may enjoy through your scrapbook forever. Athletes of your ability come too infrequently. Many coaches have never been blessed with a talented athlete. I've had the privilege, and it has been the most pleasurable and fruitful experience. Thank you for writing my letter. I didn't know we were looking for a new home for my dad, but